Hey, what's up? It's Steph. I just wanted to give a quick update on my Chandler case. I have two criminal cases that I'm representing myself pro se in. That would be a Chandler disorderly conduct / assault case, where I was arrested for an F3 felony and somehow that got downgraded all the way to a misdemeanor, and I'm fighting it now. I understand that makes no sense, but that's exactly why I'm fighting it the way I'm fighting it right now. And also, I have a false arrest for a DUI in Gilbert. So I have two criminal cases where I'm representing myself pro se, and I also filed a civil RICO case against pretty much the state of Arizona that's being arbitrarily held. So I just want to give a quick update on my Chandler disorderly conduct assault case. Yesterday, I had a hearing for a motion for recusal that I filed against the presiding judge on my case. It did wind up getting ruled on adversely. I basically filed this motion for recusal because the court is refusing to acknowledge any of my motions or rule on any of them. They're finding arbitrary ways to just kind of skip past ruling on my motions. And the last time I was there, the presiding judge even stated that she saw my motions, but she didn't rule on any of them. And also, I filed two emergency motions for continuance in this case. One for the April 28th incident, which is on my page, where I was hit on foot by some private security company sent or some kind of gang stalker working for the government, right? It's on camera. He purposely ran me over with his truck on purpose. So I sent a continuance for that, a request for a continuance for that, and an ADA request, and a request for ADA accommodation. That's the American Disabilities Act. Never got ruled on, never received an answer. The ADA accommodations, first, somebody from the court staff tried to send me an email saying that my ADA accommodations are declined because I already have an attorney. They can't decline your ADA accommodations because you have an attorney. Your attorney is not the one who's injured. You are. So if you ask for ADA accommodations, they can't say that you can't get it because your attorney didn't ask for it. Number one, that's a federal violation. And then number two, I wound up having to go to court injured because they didn't rule on the continuance at all, right? Probably because if you make rulings, you got to start validating the case. And since I ain't take a plea deal in order to validate the case at all, it's probably not even a real case. It's just some shit that they just made up out of thin air, right? In reality. And the only way they can validate this shit is if I sign a plea deal. But that's neither here nor there, right? So basically, I didn't get the continuance for that, and I didn't get my ADA request acknowledged until I showed up in court. I wound up getting a message from the ADA coordinator after I responded to Leanne Riley, whoever that is, who told me that my ADA requests are denied because I have an attorney at the time, which my attorney had just dropped out or whatever. So I got a response from the ADA coordinator after that, saying that my ADA requests are granted from the April 28th incident, but I told him, yo, this is not official until I have signed court paperwork, which I never got, right? And I still haven't gotten any signed court paperwork for this case besides motions to continue. Very interesting. Also, I had an incident on June 25th, which, I also, it should be on my page somewhere. If not, it's on my Substack or one of them pages. I'll make a post about it, or I'll make a video about it eventually, exposing everything that happened there. We're gonna do a long live about that. But I had an accident on June 25th of this year. Back-to-back incidents here. This accident where somebody T-boned me when I was coming making a left out of an apartment complex, right? On purpose. They were going like 55 into 60. They hit me with a Chevrolet C30 with a big old thing on the back carry. They had them little trailers on the back carrying a bunch of shit. So I got nailed by that. Completely totaled my car. He hit me right like his truck was merged into my driver's seat. So that was another event that was set up by a private security company or the feds, because the system is incentivized and gamified against certain people or whatever. Until it's gamified, until all those people are gone, and then it's gamified against the people who are playing it, who are participating in the game, right? That's how it works. These motherfuckers are so stupid that they don't know what they're doing. But So, and I sent the 88 request and a request for continuance to the Chandler court for that as well. That never got ruled on. I wound up missing a court date and having to find a way to court while injured the next day, just to be able to correct the record and not have a warrant out from my arrest, or not have a failure to appear to court. So I didn't want to go into court the next day after I missed my court date, because they never ruled on my continuance at all, and to correct the record. So basically, they're using forms of physical and psychological torture. That's basically what that is. If I got to show up to court twice injured, and you guys don't rule on my fucking motion to continue after being in 2 major incidents where, right, so they're trying to force a default. That's basically what they're trying to do, and that's why I filed a motion for recusal against the presiding judge. I didn't get the motion for recusal. They all going to protect each other, right? It is what it is. They made it seem like what I was saying wasn't. It was just a procedural mishap or something like that. It's just like, nah, it's not. Y'all torturing me is not a procedural mishap. You're doing it completely on purpose. So I've been in 2 accidents where I had to show up to court while I was injured. You don't make somebody show up to court while they're injured for a damn misdemeanor, right? Or for anything, but for a misdemeanor, you kidding me? So me being physically and psychologically tortured is no accident. They're all going to cover for each other, but it's okay because I'm going to continue to expose it, right? So they're manufacturing procedural defaults by causing things to happen to me and then not ruling on my motions or my motions to continue. So they don't really have a case. They're trying to manufacture a default. Straight up. So, but that's the update. The recusal hearing didn't go my way. I don't care. The whole reason for this was to get them to acknowledge my motions in the first place. That was it. I don't care who the judge is on my case. As long as you acknowledge my motions, you'll allow me the chance to speak. If we're not acknowledging my motions, you're not allowing me the chance to be heard, then we got a real fucking problem. We got a real conflict of interest here. And we're going to continue to. So whether I get a recusal or not, that doesn't mean shit to me. It's about the facts. And we're here to stick to the facts. So if this is what they're doing here with this social credit score system they got here, I'm just here to expose it. Because you ain't about to get me down, dog. I'm here for all of it. But anyway, that's my quick update. I just got shit to do. I'm out of here, man. Peace.